Kelly Lynn of Kelly Lynn's Creative Kitchen. Today I have a very special guest for you, and she's my sister. Her name is Gina. Gina owns a real estate business called what?
Montana Dream Properties in Missoula, Montana.
So today we're going to get ready for a special Italian picnic that we were invited to, and it's a yearly event. Isn't that right?
It is.
It's usually every July. And so if you get a chance, take your family out and about and check out all the local events. What are some of the other events you can check out here in Missoula? Take your family to that are
Oh my goodness. Besides garage sales,
She loves garage sales.
well, I don't love garage sales, but we do attend some garage sales. And there are events at Caris Park downtown, just over the Hipping Street Bridge. If those folks are interested in getting under the umbrella in the shade, out of the sun, that would be a nice place to go. There's usually things going on there.
Wednesday out to lunch.
Wednesdays are out to lunch.
Thursday dinner thing.
And there's an evening, it's almost like an out to lunch, but it's an evening gathering for people to get out on the summer hot evenings, and they have wine tasting.
Do they have
and
local artists
food,
playing too?
local musicians.
So you can get out and dance.
All kinds of
And then Saturdays you got your Saturday market, which is Saturday Farmers Market,
farmers market.
the Missoula Saturday Market, and then there's some other events going on. Look in your local paper to find out what events are. So with that in mind, we are going to tell you the ingredients you need for our special spinach salad today. So with that in mind, Gina, you will be the honors. As I label them, we're going to start out with, this is spinach that has already been cut. We decided instead of buying one, we save ourselves time since we are going to a picnic in a couple of hours. Spinach and packaged spinach.
I'd say the one thing that you have to make sure of is
Fresh.
don't worry about, you should rinse them and make it, fluff it up a little bit as you.
We're doing the ingredients, sister.
I know, but you gotta make sure that it's nice, clean, fresh.
Yeah. I always say fresh meat, buy local. What else do we got here, sister?
We have a local cucumber.
And what
Missoula-
else?
Is this organic?
I believe it is organic. I'm going to grow a garden next year.
We have a kiwi fruit.
What else? We have a lemon.
We have a lemon.
We're going to use probably the rind of it to make a nice zesty taste. An orange. I think it's
This is
a
actually-
navel orange.
This is actually
What is it?
tangerine.
Okay. Well,
And we have an avocado here.
Okay, and what else? We've got a mix of something here that was already bought. I mean, usually we'll buy and mix our own trail mix, but this is going to be added to the salad. It's going to be very exciting.
This particular trail mix has dried bananas, coconut. It looks like
I better taste that.
what is that? I always forget.
Tastes like papaya to me.
Papaya. It's also got peanuts,
Coconut. Why don't you try
and it
it?
has cran
Better have
apple
that.
raisins.
Better
So
try it.
those are the main ingredients here
Before she gets
that
it first.
she is utilizing.
And
for
then
extra touch.
later on we will do a special dressing. So with that in mind, Gina, I need you to help me cut the cucumbers, and I will get I'm going to get the grinder for the carrots. So you cannot show
Yes,
this.
And
So
these are-
we are doing a very special meal. We're going to just be right back. You're tuning into Kelly Lynn's Creative Kitchen, and if you want to have more information on the recipes here, you can log on and email me at kellyhaig@msn.com. And we'll be right back. All right, today my sister's going to be cutting the cucumber. She's going to be cutting it probably in smaller slices. We're just going to only use a little bit of the cucumber because in a hot day like this, it gets a little soggy in the salad. So with that in mind, sister, have at it.
So about this.
Make sure that your knives are cut sharp. And I usually like using serrated edges. And then once I've cut the big cucumber with a bigger knife, I use a paring knife. She is what do you call, peeling the outer edges of the cucumber out.
When you don't have a potato peeler handy, you just use a paring knife.
And it saves you a lot of time. But just make sure that your knives are sharp and you check them frequently, like I said in my earlier program, and you don't rush through cutting. So, sister, she's gonna. So you took some of them off, and you didn't pour it all the way off.
No, that's for design.
Oh, so for color, she added a little bit. She did a little bit of design. We always have a colander available to throw our extras in, and if you have a rabbit or an animal who eats this kind of stuff, we can give it to them for a snack. So what are we going to be doing with the cucumbers today? Are we going to make them any smaller than that, or just kind of keep
Whatever
them
you
bigger?
want to do with them.
I think, sister, we're going to cut them in half today. Okay.
So now, there might be a appropriate way to do this, but I like to stack them
Okay.
and slash them.
Yep. And
Do you
tell
like
us a little bit
small?
about cutting, keeping the front of the knife on the board so you don't cut your hands.
Yes, very, very important. Now, do you want these in the bowl?
And now that she's done, she will sprinkle them on the top of the bowl, and after we're done with everything, we can toss them with the salad, or we wash our hands really well. It's great when you toss them with your hands too. So, you know the pun about talking with your hands, is it true?
Yes.
Is it?
Well, I think you can see for yourself
Really?
so what's happening here. Now, I think sometimes you have to taste that. which
You know what I
that
think we
makes
need to
you
do
put in.
too? Sister, vinegar. This is a little Italian, maybe even Italian, but
Oriented.
my little sister needs to try some, also have vinegar on it.
On the
She just ate the cucumber with it.
Oh.
We're gonna steal it. Here, sister. Here,
roll.
little sister. And what do you say to that? Always, always test your food before you feed it to someone else. Because if it doesn't taste very well, then you don't want to feed it to someone else, do you?
Yeah, your sisters and brothers, you probably should. Well, you could
Unless
catch
you
up
want to,
now.
you know, get it back or something. Well, not a good thing. So the next thing we're going to do, sister, is we are going to take and move the cucumber out of the way. I've got, what do we have here? We also forgot to say we have some little baby carrots that we actually washed. We only need a few of them. What we're going to be doing today is we are not going to be slicing them. We are going to be using this little guy as a garnish. So, okay, well, this one isn't as sharp. You want to make sure also that you pick stuff that is sharp. We'll be using this one for the lemon. This is these are both shredders. You can get them of various sizes. And what Gina's doing right now is what are you doing, Gina? Instead of cutting the carrots, we're
basically kind of scallion.
scallioning them.
I would call it. Well, some of us can stay on the board and some of us can't.
Sometimes she has problems even driving. So,
Well, as long as I stay between the lines, everything's okay.
we have a couple more carrots to slice. So we are looking at 3 carrots. So far, we have spinach. We got pre-packaged spinach, local organic spinach, and then we bought a local cucumber. We only used maybe half of the cucumber, and now we are slicing up 3 baby carrots from our local market to put into the salad. And the next thing, we're doing something a little different than a normal green spinach salad. I think if you want to change your greens around, spinach salad has a lot of vitamin K. Instead of buying regular green lettuce, I think you should buy spinach.
She says it has more vitamin K because her initials start with a K. But really, it has a lot of vitamin B12 also in it.
So, and basically what Gina and I are doing is we are always cooking on a budget. We're cooking healthy. We're cooking buy local. Cook with your family. If you have a chance to bring your kids in the kitchen for the cold salad meals, great. But when you're cooking with the hot meals, you don't want to have them in the kitchen unless they're older and you supervise them. The next thing we are going to do is my sister is now going to peel the little tangerine, and then we're going to put it in little slivers. And it will also add a nice citrusy taste to the salad. Smell that. We may even have to take some of the rinds with them and the lemon and put them in for a little bit more taste. So, with that in mind, she got the citrus in my eye. And we got a fan going right now because I think it's what temperature?
Probably 101, 102.
Really? So, are we kind of hot?
Well, depends on what perspective you take.
Well, I think we need to do a timeout.
Depends on your perspective.
Yeah, we need to take a timeout, sister.
Okay.
Sister, grab your tea. Here's to you and all of you who are tuning in to MCAT every Tuesday and Friday for my show. On Tuesdays, it's 5:30 to 6, and on Fridays, what time is it? 1:30 to 2. So tune in, and if you'd like to get more information, like I said, where do we log on to?
Kelly Haig at MSN.com.
And if you also would like to be what on my show?
If you'd like to be a guest on Kelly's show, please also log into Kelly Haig at MSN.com, or you may call 406-239-2264, and you will be welcome.
So with that in mind, we're going back to the salad. So tell us what you're doing with this.
Well, I
Tangerine.
have just peeled this nice little tangerine. Some folks call them nectarines.
I didn't call it a
And-
nectarine. I called it a
and-
navel orange.
What we're going to do is we're going to break it open, like so, and put them into the wedges. Now, some people are really good at peeling these things. Others struggle. And it's nice to have the skin on these fresh fruit when you put it in your salad. Or there are some people who like to take it from the wedge and they like to cut them down in
To
little chunks, because when you toss it
Cube
then
'em?
around your salad, then the juices will fall into whatever dressing that you have.
So you're basically kind of cubing them, cutting them down in maybe 4s for each slice. The other thing is she's telling you to do is buy frequently if you've got fruits and vegetables, and if you're single, since I'm cooking for a lot of single people, or a smaller family, think about buying a small amount and then buying more frequently, because it's a lot healthier, isn't it? Instead of buying a lot of prepackaged stuff, it's always good to support
Your local producers. The other thing you might want to keep in mind is we have demonstrated putting the fruit, putting the vegetables on top of the lettuce here to give you an idea what's going into salad. But ultimately, if you want a nice, healthy, fluffy looking salad when you present it, you will probably take a separate bowl and put your liquid ingredients or anything like tangerines that are cut, and you will put them in with your dressing that you're going to put over it, and then toss it up with your salad, so that your salad does not look limp and weak when you present it.
Yep. And here's another secret.
If you keep
You're
your
layering your salad. When you do put it together, you can layer it with your greens, your salad fixings, your greens, and your salad fixings. That's another traditional way that a lot of people do it. That way, when you dig into the salad, you get all the ingredients.
You can do that. It just depends on the salad that you're making.
Okay.
So that was my suggestion. When I make my salads, I normally would put my liquids and my dressings together
I guess I better go in the round.
and toss them around so that all the flavors can mix with each other. I put my heavier vegetables on the bottom before I mix it up. So again, the salad oftentimes is the last thing that you're going to add to, or the lettuce is the last thing you're going to add to your salad.
We are back, and I'm going to be tossing the salad, and my sister Gina is going to be cutting the avocado in half and taking a little section of it, and we will wait to put that on till the very last, because we are going to use it as a garnish for the top of the salad. Plus, we've got some other fixings, so stay tuned. I'm taking my hands, I washed them. Sometimes this is the best way to toss a salad if you don't have a very big bowl. Take it from the end and kind of turn it into itself, and then you kind of into a bigger bowl. We might get a bigger bowl. I will be right back. I think when in doubt, get a bigger bowl.
And so while she's doing that, if you notice I've got an avocado here. Some people call it avocado. We take and we slice it around the avocado. We don't necessarily have to peel it off of the center core, but this could help you. When you slice around it and you give it a little twist so that you have the centers broken apart evenly.
And the other thing is, if you're not using all the avocado, I suggest you leaving it in a shell and covering it really well with saran wrap or something so the air doesn't get in there and make it go bad.
So you've got she's tossing it in a bigger bowl, which is very good. And I'm going to over here.
And I'm having fun throwing things around. If things fall on the floor, throw them into your colander. Do not pick them up and put them back in your salad. That is just absolutely a no, isn't that, sister?
So as she's tossing that, you'll notice that the avocado here is being sliced. It's longitudinal. And I don't know what Kelly wants to do and how she wants to present these, but these I
Let's
guess
switch
are
it
going to
forward.
be loud, and these are going to be last.
So set it aside right here, sister.
So we'll set that aside. Do you want the whole avocado used in this case? Or?
I think we'll use the whole avocado since it's a bigger salad. And
We'll come back to this.
We're feeding more than just us two. It's a picnic, so we want to make sure we kind of have something nice and fat for people to eat. The next thing we are going to do, sister, is we are going to take and we're going to slice some kiwi. Kiwi got a little bit of, it's an exotic taste. We got a lot of fruits in the salad, but you know what? It is summertime, and using fruits and vegetables helps you get your 5 required fruits and vegetables for the day. So with that in mind, Sister is going to peel the outside of it. We're going to have maybe a little bit of this for some taste, okay? And meanwhile, I'm going to get ready with the lemon later on. We are going to just use the outside rind to add a little bit of taste to it. But
Kiwi. For those people who don't know what kiwi looks like, this is the center of it.
here's a cutting board for you.
Okay. And we're going to peel this back while she's playing with the celery over there. And kiwis are something that some people eat the skin on them. Other folks would rather not. So we'll assume that other folks probably don't like the skin on this. And we're going to peel the skin off.
Meanwhile, I am going to have a drink of iced tea and enjoy. The important thing about drinking, drink a lot of liquids throughout the day. How many glasses of water should a person drink?
About 8.
8 glasses. It doesn't mean you have to shove it down all at once. If you're working out, I think you're going to have to double that.
Well, just make sure that you are hydrated throughout the day. If you don't hydrate yourself, you will experience headaches, possibly. And in my case, I didn't realize this, but when I become dehydrated, my eyes also hurt. Because if you notice on this kiwi, it's fairly easy to peel, but the more ripe the kiwi is, the sweeter it is, and the softer it is. So this is about the right time to be peeling this.
And you're using a paring knife. I think the smaller the piece of fruit or vegetable you have, use a knife that is more controllable for you, so you don't cut yourself. The next thing we're going to do is Gina is going to cube this into little cubes, just like we did with the avocado. I actually threw the avocado in there, and while she was talking about the kiwi, I cubed it and threw it in. We're mixing it in because we're getting closer to the time we need to get going for the
event?
The event. Okay. We're both half Italian, but you know, put us together and we're 100%.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that nifty? Yeah, he had a lot to do with it too.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Yep. And also to let you guys know, at the end of this first season, which is going to be probably wrapping up in about 3 more shows, at the end of the show, I am going to be compiling a recipe book of everything you've seen here, so it will be available for you to have in your own home. With this in mind, Gina, what have we done with the kiwi?
We cubed the kiwi.
So Gina's going to add this to the salad.
We peeled it.
Oh, whatever, G. I call her G, but her name's Gina. Gina of Montana Dream Properties is our co-host today. So Gina, would you please put it in the salad for us?
And I know you're thinking, oh my goodness, some real estate broker and developer is going to be cooking. I don't think so. However, I do like to play in the kitchen, and my sister likes to play in the kitchen
and make stuff up. We're going to be talking about food art later. I'm going to talk to you about that a little bit later. And Gina is going to be a frequent guest on our show. Gina decided she might add a little bit more carrots for color because we're kind of lacking color. So we're going to cut maybe 2 or 3 more carrots to add some orange to it because we got a lot of green going on. We've got green avocados, spinach, what else do we have? Kiwi in there. We have carrots and tangerine. And so with that, we're going to have a very exciting fiesta salad. I think I'm wearing the salad. It takes a lot, sister.
Oh my goodness.
There,
I
that's
don't
for
know
you.
why. I don't know why she does that, but she always blames me for wearing things.
Why don't you have a taste of that?
Okay, I'll leave one for you.
Okay, I'm going to have this. This is what I like to do.
Very good.
Good stuff. So, with that in mind, next thing we're going to do is, I've watched a lot of cooking shows, and this is what they do to help tang it up a bit. Take the rind and add a little bit to the salad. Now watch this. This is going to be so much fun. I'm going directly in the salad, but normally I have a separate bowl. So with that in mind, we're just going to kind of do a little bit of I can't remember what they call this. What do they call this? Do you remember?
Peeling.
Rind something. It's really, can you smell
It
that?
gives kind of a little tang. It's what I use in my salads that I like.
What do you
a
think,
lot.
sis? We want a lot more than that?
I
Or?
think that's probably good enough.
Okay.
Because it just gives you just a tinge. Just a tinge is what you want. And
Okay.
we're gonna toss it up a tiny bit more.
And you know what also is great? Lemon is great in many things, isn't it? You can add a little taste of thing. It's also very healthy. It keeps your water nice and fresh. You can add a little bit of lemon to the water. It helps with the vitamin C. And also, if you want to do some cleaning of surfaces, you can add a little lemon to that, and it's very good to help keep your place nice, fresh, and clean. You can even take some of these rinds and put them up, maybe dry them, or put them around the house, and they smell really delicious. Yes, definitely. Okay, so with that in mind, what do you think we're going to be doing next?
Whatever you say.
Well, I think maybe we should probably decide how we want to toss this in there.
Well, as you remember,
This is a small package of about
Yes.
maybe 8 ounces of mixed fruit, right?
this is mixed fruit. A lot of people know this as trail mix, and it has papaya, different types of
Pineapple?
papaya, dried pineapple, and with a sugary taste to it. It's got cranberries that are cran raisins, I guess they call these.
Okay.
Dried bananas, and coconut that I can see.
Okay.
With some peanuts.
Well, I better try that. What do you think? You think we should try
Yes,
one?
absolutely.
I think you better try one, sis. Okay, I think you better try one of
It
those.
gets in my mouth.
Not in your hands.
Mm.
Can you go like this? Watch now. You got to do this with us. Delicious. Okay, sis, your turn. Go. Tell us what you're gonna do with that.
I believe Kelly is wanting us to sprinkle this
Or
and toss it in with the salad. So we don't want to just club it all on top, but we want to take our hands and we filter through, even in trail mixes and in seasonings, so that we can disperse the ingredients so that it's not hanging around in one big clump. And then we, again, use our hands and we can toss this up.
I think tossing, you should have a drink too. While she's tossing, I'm going to be turning and having a drink with some.
So we put a little bit more on.
Ooh, yummy.
Hands first.
Looks good. Looks delicious, sister.
And we'll save a little bit in the cup toward the end.
See, we can add it for the garnish at the very end. So with that in mind, I think that we may, do you think we're going to make a nice light vinaigrette? We're going to add a little bit of vinegar to it and a little balsamic, and we are set for the salad. Okay, sister?
Now, if you're not serving the salad right away, I would suggest that you wait on the dressing until you're closer to your event and refrigerate on this particular salad.
What we're going to do, since we are getting closer to the event, what I do is a very light vinegar, balsamic vinegar. We love balsamic vinegar and wine.
It's the Italian way.
Okay, sister, we're going to do a very light sprinkling, about light, because you don't want to sog up the salad. And then we're going to add a little bit of what as well? A little extra virgin olive oil.
And
Welcome back. We finally got the olive oil bottle open after about 5 minutes. You know, child-proof, no, I think it's more adult-proof.
senior citizen-proof, adult-proof, female-proof.
You know, you guys really have to think about how you know, it's definitely important to keep things child-proof, but when they're adult-proof, then you got a problem. So Gina,
like computers.
flip a little bit of olive oil with vinegar onto the salad. You can do a very small amount. You only need a little bit. Olive oil is good for your heart. So, 5 vegetables a day, 4 fruits, and what else do we got going here, Susie?
You know, it looks like you've pretty much done your ingredients.
Yeah.
And for the toss-up, and you can still take.
Go ahead, Susie.
And you
We
toss
can
it up
even
with your
use
hand.
a small. I'm going to bring my thing over.
And you do get a little oil on your fingers, and a little vinegar on your fingers. So the last part is going to be a little seasoning, probably.
What's
and we'll
the
taste the
grape?
lettuce. Okay, we'll probably use a little salt.
So what do you think about some
Pepper and a little salt.
okay,
That's
so with
salt.
that in mind, she's going to tell you a little bit about why you might want to use wooden utensils to cook with.
Cook this.
Yeah, to cook or to toss with. What are they?
You know, what's really interesting is if you are cooking with a wooden ladle or utilizing wooden equipment or tools like this, instruments, it will take the flavor of what you're working upon and kind of lock that flavor in. So if you have a lemon oil or a some kind of salty, maybe a garlic taste. These are nice. And really plastics are okay, but I would prefer glass and wood whenever you get an opportunity, because plastics are made of what is similar to alkene and alkane, which is a totally different chemistry segment altogether, but glass bowls really do work well.
And they keep the taste in better. We're going to eventually try to get ourselves away from certain things that are made that don't break down and that are not healthy for our environment. So we're going to be going green, I would say. So Gina, we've got salt and pepper here. And what do you think about a little garlic salt?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm again putting it on my hand first, so I don't, in case there's something wrong with the garlic, the shakers, then I'm not putting too much on. And with the pepper, same thing. You adjust it with your hand first until you feel it is.
And also the other thing we were talking about is we are talking about a healthy alternative to salt, sea salt, which is something I've now integrated into my kitchen. Next thing we're going to do is she's going to put a little bit of garlic in there, garlic salt. Now remember, garlic salt and garlic powder have a little bit of a different consistency. So with that in mind, I think also, since we are Italian, I love the herbs and the Italian seasonings. I think we should add a little bit of that seasoning. So I'm going to do, this is how I do it. I filter it through my hands. Sprinkle it a little bit for a little bit of taste, and voila, I think our salad is done. The only thing we have to do is finish tossing it, and then later on we're going to have these before we go take it. So you too can have a fun time, and salads, sandwiches, or soups are all easy fixings to make, especially in hot weather. Isn't that right, sister? Coming up, we'll have a great feast at my sister's house. What are you going to talk a little bit about that? What kind of guests we're going to have? And
Well, we'll visit about that.
we'll visit about that. I guess so. It'll be an exciting Italian feast for all the great decadent choices we got in life. Why not make a feast, and why not have friends over? With that in mind, what do you think?
Signing out. Ciao, we're off to a picnic.
Kelly Lynn of Kelly Lynn's Creative Kitchen. Email me at kellyhagen@msn.com if you've got a great recipe you'd like to share with us on the show, or if you'd like to also be a co-host
guest
or a co-host. This is Gina Haig of Montana Dream Properties. You will have the information about how to get hold of them and get hold of more information on the show.
And any of my fabulous recipes.
You got it, sister. Until next time.
Ciao.
Bye.